Welcome to Finding Your Frequency, the show where we meet people here in North Florida, find out who they are, where they're going, and what it takes to get there. Today we're talking spirits, and not just any spirits, but as you can see by these magnificent bottles sitting on the table, premium spirits. And to do that, we've got Andy Teubner from Sire Spirits. How are you today?
I'm great, Brian. Thanks for being here.
Hey, tell me about Sire Spirits, because you're partnered with a guy that a lot of people know. They just don't know that he's in the spirits industry.
Yeah, absolutely. Sire Spirits is 100% owned by Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent, as most people know him.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of celebrity brands out there, but we are the only celebrity spirits company that's 100% owned by the celebrity. So this is Lock, Stock, and Barrel, one of his companies. We have several spirits companies, or several companies within the realm of sort of G Unit, if you think about film and television. And he's opening up a studio right now in Shreveport, and he's got, of course, music and G Unity with the philanthropic efforts, but Sire Spirits as well. The company's named after his son, Sire. So it's not something he's looking to churn and burn.
Right.
It is a company. It is ultra premium. And really, represents the lifestyle that he likes to lead.
So what makes a champagne or a cognac ultra premium? The ingredients, the person who makes it?
No, certainly, there's a lot of things that go into it. There's the quality of grapes. I mean, there's the winemaker, there's the champagne maker, there's what we say, and I could get into it and spend hours on, but on champagne, the amount of time, and we spend 4 years which on leads, which means that it stays 4 years in the bottle aging. So It's a little longer than your normal champagnes that'll be out there. And the quality ingredients that then go into that. And then also, really what I say is we enter the really highest level of competitions in the country and in the world, and we continually win awards, for our brand and get it out there. We don't want to enter every different competition because there's so many out there now, but we continue to win and get highly awarded. And the same goes for the cognac as well. I mean, our cognac, we'll put it up against any brand that are out there, and it's a tough space to get in, really.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going against brands that are hundreds of years old. And
Hundreds of years old.
Hundreds of years old. Remy, Hennessy, Courvoisier, these brands are worth billions of dollars and hundreds of years old. So breaking into it just isn't easy. So it's about getting in and carving out a little bit of market share in an industry that is not really growing right now.
And yet, as it's not growing, you and in your fourth decade in the industry,
Yes.
with a worldwide resume, you're part of a group that in a flattening industry is launching premium.
Yes, we're launching and growing premium because, to be honest with you, I think there's a couple reasons. One, within the United States, the cognac consumer is by and large African American, and the brands are owned, by large French multinationals. So we're coming in with an American, African American owned brand, trying to break into the segment, which I think is important to the community. And 50 very much gives back to that community. So I think that's important, and for us to be able to get in and introduce our brand, but not just to that community, but also to communities in general. We are also at the same time pushing the mixability of cognac. So what I always like to say is anything you can do with whiskey, you can do with cognac, and you can create a more flavorful cocktail experience. Okay. Whether it's an old fashioned or a Manhattan or a paper airplane, these cocktails that have classically been made with whiskey can be made with cognac, and they taste better. I mean, the Sazerac, the original cocktails, really a lot of them out there were made with cognac. And even rum-based drinks you can use with cognac. So we're pushing that perspective as well.
You've worked for some of the biggest companies, right?
Yes.
Seagram's, Coors. What do you see with Curtis, with 50 and Sire Spirits, that gives you the sense that this is going to be as successful as these are tasty?
Well, the brands are winners. I mean, when I first talked to Curtis, I said, what do you want to be? He said, I want to be Diageo. I said, that's fantastic.
I remember Diageo.
Yeah,
right?
yes,
You
right.
do too, from the days with the Jaguars when you were a big sponsor.
Well, that was with Seagram.
Okay.
And Seagram was kind of the precursor of both Diageo and Pernod. And then I was with Patron for a long time. And of course, these brands get sold.
You bet.
But he understands that it takes a lot of resources. I mean, by and large, I get questioned all the time. Hey, I want to start a brand. What do I need to do? My advice is always don't. Buy Bitcoin. Take your money and do that, because you're going to lose a lot of money.
Right.
I can tell you that, having been part of a group that started a tequila, before you make a dime, you're going to lose north of $50 million. I mean, it just is.
Wow.
Large companies no longer have innovation departments. They leave it to entrepreneurs, and then they go out and buy the winners.
Okay.
It just makes sense for them. So you have to have, and what 50 does have is he has, I said a threshold for pain.
Okay.
Understand
He's done well.
we're going to lose money for a while before we make a dime on these. But once you do, you really start to, because in luxury goods, it's very profitable. It's a great business to be in, especially consumables. So, and the sky's the limit. We're just now scratching the surface. We have national deals with Landry's. So we're in all of their high-end, the steakhouses like Morton's here in town. It features the champagne and cognac and McCormick and Schmick. So across the country, we're starting to get bigger and bigger placements, and the brands are growing that way.
Give us the names of all three so folks can look for them when they're out and about.
Well, certainly. So in the middle is our cognac, and this is Branson XO, which is our highest at retail, sort of north of $200 to $49. And that's aged, generally at least it's a blend, but aged generally at least 20 years. On the right is Le Chemin du Roi Brut, which are Brut Champagne, retails for $159. Rosé, retails for $49. They're all available until 1.
Which, by the way, is perfect for the Florida sun coming out this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, rosé continues to happen, and
John Bon Jovi's in it. Speaking of celebrities who are in that space,
yes, he is. He's got Hands of Water. It's doing extremely well. I know the guy. A lot of people, a lot of celebrities are getting it. He is one that's actually doing fairly well in it. He's got a focused strategy, and that's really what it takes to win. You really got to have a focused strategy and a winning team behind it.
Winning brand, winning team. Andy Teubner, Sire Spirits. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks
I appreciate you joining us and finding your frequency.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.